Students, let us continue the objective questions from the chapter Haloalkanes and Haloarenes. Already we have discussed one of the questions from this chapter. Now let us see the second question of this chapter. The given question is, for a given alkyl group, the density, boiling point and melting point are in the order alkyl iodide, lesser than alkyl bromide, lesser than chloride. Another option B, alkyl iodide, lesser than alkyl chloride, less than alkyl bromide. Option C, alkyl bromide, less than alkyl iodide, less than alkyl chloride. Just see the option D here, alkyl chloride, less than alkyl bromide, lesser than alkyl iodide. Just see, what is the question they have given? For a given alkyl group, what is meant by given? Listen here students, in the option you can see all the alkyl group as a R, isn't it? They have used the symbol as R. Now what does this R represents? Given alkyl group, nothing but R represents here identical alkyl group. See, if this is a methyl iodide, this also should be the methyl bromide. This also should be the methyl chloride. That means all the R group should be what? Identical. Understood? Hence, for a given alkyl group, the density, boiling point and melting point in the order means we have studied the synopsis part of this and we know that the density, boiling point and melting point are the physical properties. All these physical properties depends on the molecular mass of the compound. Okay, these physical properties depends on the molecular mass of the organic compound. Now we know that the R group is identical here. Hence no need to check the mass of this R group for each and every compound. But you can see here the another atom, that is a halogen atom, is different in the different alkyl halide in a given options. Now we know that the halogens means always they belong to group 17th, isn't it? The halogens are the group 17th elements. Now if you consider the group 17th element in the periodic table, we know that the first element of the group 17 is the fluorine, and the next element is the chlorine, next to that is the bromine, next to that is the iodine, and the last element is the astatine. And we know that in the periodic property from top to bottom, always the atomic size goes on increases. Fluorine has got a smaller size. Next element chlorine has got a larger size than fluorine. Next to that bromine still larger size, because the electron number goes on increases from top to bottom. As the number of electrons increases, the atomic mass also what happens? Increases. Now atomic mass increases means if you add the atomic masses here along with the R group, we don't know that which R group they have given, but it is identical. No need to check that again. Okay, that means if you add the atomic masses of the halogen atom here, we will get what? Molecular mass. And we know that higher the molecular mass, more will be the boiling point or more will be the density. Hence, we know that from top to bottom means the last element given in this option is from top to bottom, that is the iodine. Iodine has a larger size compared to the bromine and chlorine. Since the size of the iodine is larger, number of electrons are more, atomic mass is high. That means the molecular mass of the alkyl iodide is very, very high compared to the alkyl bromide and alkyl chloride. Therefore, higher the molecular mass, more will be the melting point or a boiling point. Melting point, boiling point and density always depends on what? Molecular mass, nothing but size of the halogen atom, because the R is an identical group here. It always depends on what? Size of the halogen. Halogen size here is maximum for the iodine in the given options. Therefore, Ri has got a higher molecular mass. Therefore, density, melting point or a boiling point of alkyl iodide is higher than alkyl bromide. Next comes alkyl chloride. Hence, in the given options, which is the correct option here? Option D. This is the correct option. Option D is the correct option. I hope this is clear for you, because molecular mass always decides the physical properties of the organic compound. Therefore, the correct option here is Option D, that is alkyl iodide has got a higher molecular mass, high boiling point. Alkyl bromide has the boiling point lesser than the alkyl iodide and still lesser for what? Alkyl chloride. Is it clear for you? Now let us see here the next question. Let us see the next question. Question number 3. Just see the third question. The given third question here is ethyl chloride on heating with silver cyanide forms a compound X. Okay, students. Ethyl chloride on heating with the silver cyanide forms a compound X. The functional isomer of X is, listen here students, in the first year PU you have studied about the functional isomer. You know that the molecular formula should be same, but they should have the different functional groups. So they should differ in what? Functional group present. That means the question is ethyl chloride on heating with the silver cyanide. We know that ethyl chloride is an alkyl halide, isn't it? Now, alkyl halides have the highest tendency to undergo the nucleophilic substitution reaction. Always the alkyl halides undergo what? Nucleophilic substitution reaction. Nucleophilic substitution reaction is carried out with what? Silver cyanide. Now, if you consider the silver cyanide is not a ionic compound. It is completely a covalent compound. Listen here students, if it is a potassium cyanide, we know that the potassium cyanide is an ionic compound because potassium is an alkali metal. The potassium cyanide is a ionic compound. Readily it ionizes to produce what? K plus and Cn minus. But here it is not like that. The silver cyanide is a covalent compound. Covalent compound usually do not undergo what? Ionization. Hence, the nucleophile is not generated here like Cn minus and Ag plus. Followed? No. The nucleophile Cn minus is not generated here. Understood? Because the compound is what? A covalent compound. It do not undergo ionization. But under the reaction condition, ethyl chloride undergoes reaction with the silver cyanide at a particular temperature to produce a corresponding product. And you know this. Already you have studied this. The product formed is what? Isocyanide. See, NC group is attached here. Isocyanide. Isocyanide means the ethyl chloride, the covalent bond present between the carbon and Cl undergoes what? Cleavage. It is the heterolytic cleavage. C becomes plus and Cl becomes minus. But here the ionization do not take place means the lone pair of electrons present on the nitrogen. Listen here students, the lone pair of electrons, how many pair of electrons are there on the nitrogen? Non-bonding pair, that is a lone pair. It contains, nitrogen always contains how many pair? One pair, isn't it? That means the lone pair present on the nitrogen, even though the Cn minus is not generated here, the lone pair present on the nitrogen readily attacks the positively charged carbon. Hence, bonding do not take place with this carbon atom. Bonding takes place with what? Nitrogen atom. As the new bonding takes place, this bond undergoes the cleavage and Ag plus is released from this. Hence, the product formed is what? Isocyanide. C2H5 plus forms the bond with what? Nitrogen of the cyano group. Hence, the resulting product here is what? Isocyanide. But if you consider this isocyanide here, the question they have asked here is ethyl chloride on heating with the silver cyanide forms compound X. What is that X formed here? The X formed here is a ethyl isocyanide. Understood? The given option here is ethyl isocyanide is there, ethyl amine is there, ethyl cyanide is there, and none of these they have given. See, the X formed here is a isocyanide. That is not the question. The question they have given is the functional isomer of X is the product formed. They have not asked about the product here. They have asked about the isomer of the product. See, product formed is the isocyanide. The isomer of isocyanide is always cyanide. That means ethyl isocyanide is the product formed. Its functional isomer, if you consider the cyanides and isocyanide, what is the formula for cyanide group? Cn minus. What is the formula for isocyanide group? Nc minus, isn't it? These two are always what? Functional isomers. Hence, isocyanide is the X here. That is a product form. The functional isomer of the product is a cyanide. They are asked about the functional isomer of X. Answer is option C. Understood, student? The option C is the correct option here. Option C. Clear now? Because this is the product form here. Its functional isomer is option C. I hope this explanation will be clear for you. Now let us check the fourth question. Yes, just see the fourth question, students. The given question here is, read it properly. When 32.25 grams, the amount they have given, 32.25 grams of ethyl chloride is subjected to dehydrohalogenation. We have studied about the synopsis part, and we know that dehydrohalogenation is also called as a beta elimination. We have studied this in the synopsis of this haloalkanes and haloarenes CT questions, isn't it? Now we know that dehydrohalogenation means beta carbon atom eliminates hydrogen in the form of a H+. Along with that, the alpha carbon atom eliminates what? Halogen. Hence, hydrogen halide will be eliminated. Therefore, the process is called what? Dehydrohalogenation. Now, which is the main reagent used for the dehydrohalogenation? We know that the main reagent used for the dehydrohalogenation is alcoholic potassium hydroxide, isn't it? Now, the question is, when 32.25 grams of ethyl chloride is subjected to dehydrohalogenation reaction, the yield of the alkene formed, we know that in any case, if the reaction is a dehydrohalogenation, the product formed is always called what? Alkene. The product formed is always an alkene. Here also the product is alkene. The product formed is only 50%. They have given the percentage of the product formed is a 50%, not the 100%. Therefore, the mass of the product formed they are asked. Question you have followed now? 32.25 grams of ethyl chloride is subjected to dehydrohalogenation reaction and it produces an alkene. The percentage of the product is 50%. Therefore, what is the mass of the product formed? Just follow the explanation properly. Listen here students, I have written the equation here. Ethyl chloride reacts with the alcoholic KOH. Condition should be what? Alcoholic. You know about that already, isn't it? Now the product formed, alpha carbon eliminates Cl minus, beta carbon eliminates H plus. That means Cl minus combines with the K plus to give KCl. H plus combines with the OH minus to give what? H2O. Now the equation is completely a balanced equation. Just see, 2 carbon, here also 2 carbons, and hydrogens 5 plus 1, 6. Here it is also 4 plus 2 is 6. Now the equation is completely a balanced one. Now if you observe here, the molecular mass of this ethyl chloride, 2 carbon, 24, 12 plus 12, 24 is the atomic mass of 2 carbons, and hydrogen 5, 29 plus 35.5. Chlorine atomic mass is 35.5 grams. Altogether, we will get the molecular mass as 64.5 grams. Okay, this is a stoichiometric calculation we have to do here. 64.5 grams is the molecular mass of ethyl chloride. On reaction, it produces, no need to find out the molecular mass of this because the question is based on only the ethyl chloride and alkene formed. Let us check the alkene formed. In the case of the ethyl chloride, the alkene formed is which one? Ethene, isn't it? 2 carbons, 24 is the atomic mass, plus 4 hydrogens, 1 into 4 means 4, 28 is the molecular mass. That means during the reaction, if 64.5 grams of the ethyl chloride undergoes reaction with the alcoholic KOH, mass of the alkene formed is how much? 28 grams. But in the question, they have given just 32.25 grams. They are not given the 64.5 grams of ethyl chloride. That means 32.25 gram means the just 50% of this. See, 50% of this 64.5, isn't it? 32.5 grams produces how much we have to find out. See, if you calculate this, on simple calculation, we'll get here 32.25 grams produces how much? 14 grams. Half of that they have given amount. That means 14 gram it has to produce. 14 gram is the mass if the yield is 100%. Clear for you? 14 gram is the mass if the yield is 100%. What is the yield of the alkene they have given? 50%. That means 50% of the 14 grams means we will get what? 7 grams. Understood, students? The answer for this question, follow the question now. 32.25 grams of ethyl chloride is subjected to dehydrohalogenation reaction. The yield of the alkene formed is 50%, means the mass of the alkene formed is how much? 7 grams. Everything I have written here. Just follow this properly and try to follow the concept. Okay, answer is 7 grams. Follow the students. Now let us check the fifth question. The fifth question is, fifth question. Yes, students, just read the question here. The fifth question, given question is, gem dihalides on hydrolysis gives. Gem dihalides on hydrolysis gives. Listen here, gem dihalides. Before that, what are dihalides? In the theory part, you have studied about the types of dihalogen compounds. You know this, the dihalogen compounds are mainly classified into how many types? 2 different types. Which are those? Geminal dihalides and vicinal dihalides. Okay, 2 types of dihalogen compounds are geminal, it's also called as a gem form, vicinal dihalides. Now, geminal dihalides means, we know that dihalide means it has to contain, the compound has to contain, halogen compound has to contain how many halogens? 2 halogens like this. See, it has to contain 2 halogens. Whatever may be the number of carbons, whatever may be the number of hydrogens, but the compound has to contain what? 2 halogens. Then only it is called what? Dihalogen compounds. Now, geminal dihalides means always the 2 halogen atoms should be attached to the single carbon. We know that carbon valency is 4. Okay, if 2 of the halogen atoms are attached to the same carbon atom, single carbon atom, then it is called as a geminal. Then what is meant by vicinal dihalides? Listen here, students. The vicinal dihalide means the 2 halogen atoms should be attached to what? Adjacent, side by side. Understood? Adjacent carbon atom, if it contains the halogen atoms, so 2 halogen atoms are present in the adjacent position, then it is called what? Vicinal dihalides. Listen here, students. The question is based on a gem dihalides, geminal dihalides. We know that gem stands for the halogen attached to the same carbon atom. Just see here, geminal dihalides on hydrolysis. Listen here, students. The hydrolysis doesn't mean that it is the addition of water. Hydrolysis means it is a reaction with the aqueous alkali. Aqueous alkali like sodium hydroxide or a potassium hydroxide. Hydrolysis of the alkyl halides do not take place with the water under normal condition. Therefore, we have to use what? Alkali solution like sodium hydroxide or a potassium hydroxide. Now, here I have written one of the equation. You can see here, 2 of the halogens are attached to what? Same carbon atom. Hence, it is a geminal dihalide. Vicinal means what? One should be attached to this, another one should be attached to this. That is called the adjacent position. Here it is a geminal. See, geminal dihalide. That means a dichloroethane. 1,1 dichloroethane, IUPAC name, is reacted with the aqueous sodium hydroxide. Nucleophilic substitution only this is, which is the nucleophile OH minus. During the reaction, bond undergoes the cleavage. Cl will be eliminated in the form of a Cl minus, heterolytic cleavage. Here also Cl will undergoes the bond between the carbon and Cl undergoes a cleavage, and Cl will eliminated in the form of a Cl minus. That means during the reaction, positively charged carbon will be attacked by what? Nucleophile OH minus. Both the Cl are eliminated in the form of a Cl minus. Hence, during the attack by the nucleophile, the first product formed will be this one. Just see, this is the first product. Listen here, students, whatever I have written the formula of the product, it is not the stable product. We cannot isolate this product. Understood? At the end of the reaction, we won't get this as a final product. This is because not only here, in any of the organic compound, if you consider, if a single carbon is attached to more than one OH, not only in this, any of the organic compound, if you consider, single carbon atom is attached to more than one OH groups, means it is always highly unstable state for this compound. It is not the stable state. It is not the comfortable state. Hence, whenever more than one OH groups are attached to the single carbon, always to attain the stable form, to attain the comfortable state, such compounds eliminates water molecules. Understood? What happens here? Elimination of water takes place since this compound is highly unstable. Within a fraction of second, elimination of water takes place. Any of the OH combines with the H, resulting in the elimination of water molecules. See, I have written here minus H2O. Water will be eliminated. If water is eliminated from this, what remains here? CH3, CH, OH and H combines to give H2O. One oxygen remains here. That I have written here. CH3CHO, which is a functional group you have got. Aldehyde group. What is this? Ethanol. Isn't it? The compound is called what? Ethanol. IUPAC name of this compound is ethanol. That means the final product formed is what? Aldehyde. Aldehyde is a product formed only if the two halogen atoms are in the terminal carbon atom. Okay, we cannot choose this option A as a correct option because we have got this aldehyde as a final product. Here, only in the case of the halogens attached to what? Terminal carbon atoms. Okay, on hydrolysis, geminal dihalides gives a aldehyde as a final product only if the halogens are attached to what? Terminal. If these halogens are attached to non-terminal carbon atom. Yes, if the compound formed will be aldehyde, that means the halogens are attached to the terminal carbon atom. If the compound final product formed will be ketone, means the halogen, that is a dihalogen compound where the halogens are attached to what? Non-terminal carbon atom. Therefore, for this question, students, the answer will be, just see the question here again, that is gem dihalides on hydrolysis produces. They have given the aldehydes, only ketones, aldehyde or and ketones they have given. Therefore, the option C, aldehydes and ketones are that is the final product formed. Option C is the correct option. Okay, aldehydes and ketones. Yes, by this, let us stop the explanations. Thank you, students.